Hi, today we're going to learn about Azure Data Factory, how to copy the data from Azure Blob to Azure SQL. For that, it is required storage account first. How to create a storage account? I have already created, guys. So anyway, let me come here. So come to the storage account. So there is a create option is there. Let me use the create option. So then create a resource group. Click next, 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 and finish. Okay. So if you want new resource group name, let me create it. So let me go for create. So create a new resource group, Nandini Software Solutions, stage 2026. This is the resource group name. I'm using it. Let me save it. So now let me select that one, whichever I'm using. I need to select it. Okay, still I didn't create it. Let me click OK option. After that, select that one. Now I need to pass the, are able to see my screen share? Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Storage account name. So storage account name. So Nandini Software Solutions. Nandini Software Solutions stage 2026. Okay. So this is the storage account name. Let me save it. So now let me come to the down. Let me select the local redundant. So let me click the next option. So I need hierarchical namespace. That's why I need multiple folders inside a blob container. That's why I'm using enable hierarchical namespace. Let me click next option. No need to do anything here. Let me click next, 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 finish. Next. So let me click next, 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 finish. So I'm creating the storage account. Let me create it. Let me create the storage account. Let me create a storage account where we will store the data files. So for that, Azure Blob container is required. So for that, it's required storage account. Inside storage account, we can create a containers. So now my deployment is in progress. Once deployment is done, then I will upload the file into my blob containers. I will create a container, then I will upload the file. So let me wait for deployment to finish. So my deployment is done. Let me go for resource. So let me go for the container. Let me go for container. Let me go for container. Let me create a add container. So let me give Nandini Software Solutions stage source. So let me click on create. So let me log in it. After success, let me log in. Let me open this. There is upload option will come. Add container. Add upload. Let me click the upload. Browse the file. Browse the file. This is the file I want to load the data. So that's why I'm selecting this file. Let me click the upload. So now my upload is done. So this is the data is there. Let me double click this one. So let me go for edit. So when you go for preview, you will see the data. Okay. Employee number, employee name, job, salary, DEPT number. This is the records are there. Okay. So now let me close this. Now I need to load this file data into my Azure SQL database. How to load via ADF means I need to create a database. Azure SQL database I have to create. Let me go for Azure SQL database. There is a create option, create a free trial. So now I'm going to use the resource group. What is the resource group? Under this resource group, I have to use it. Resource group. Okay, Nandini Software stage 2026. Perfect. So I need database name. I need what is the database name I wanted. That is the database name. I need to pass it. So I want database name. So you can use this one or else you can use different one also. Okay. So let me use the database name like Nandini Software Solutions stage DB. Stage DB. and then it's after stage DB. So the database name. So now let me go for the server, create a server. So what is the server name? Let me go for the Nandini software stage server. Let me select the stage server. I'm selecting the stage server. Server name. This is the server name. So I'm going to create. So using the East India. Let me select the East India. Let me Central India. Okay. Let me select the region where I'm going to create. I'm from India. That's why I'm going to select East India. Can someone find it here? Where is it? Okay. South India. Okay. South India. Fine. Let me select the South India. Perfect. Okay. So free trial is not there. Let me select it. Whichever the free trial is there. So that free trial I have to select the region. Let me select the Indian region.
We can type Venkat there.
It's not.
Okay.
So let me go for top to bottom. That is the reason. Let me come down slowly, slowly, slowly. Central India. Okay, perfect. Central India I have selected. Now let me come to the down. So now I need to use here authentication method. I have to use SQL method. Now let me server admin login. Server admin login. I will give some name. Okay. So let me pass the login name like the same I'm using here. Same, let me use this one. Server name, stage. So password. Okay. So let me pass the password tiger at the rate of 123. You can give any password, guys, that you have to remember it. So what are the password you are entering? So that password you have to remember it. Okay. So both should be matched. Okay. So this authentication you have to use it. So let me click OK option. Let me click OK. Let me click OK. Okay. Now, so everything database name is stage DB, right? Let me save. I have stage DB. Perfect. So login details also. Let me save it. Login details, login ID, login ID. Okay. Password. Let me save it for the future reference purpose. Okay. So now let me come to the click review and create my database I'm creating, guys. Now my database is created. Its deployment is in progress. Once deployment is done, it will open the query editor. There we can create a tables and all. So my deployment is in progress. 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 Because it will take some time to create the database username, password, and all the connection details we're passing, right? So SQL DB we're creating, Azure SQL DB. Let me wait for fraction of minutes to finish this. So the deployment is in progress. The connection details are establishing. So almost is done, guys. Let me take fraction of 1 minute to finish. So deployment is in progress. Deployment is in progress. So my deployment is in progress. Let me wait for fraction of minutes. License version, it will not take that much time, guys. No need to worry. It's a free trial account. That's why it is taking time. Okay, between let me create the data factory. So to let me explain data factory, what I want to do, I want to load the data from file to Snowflake Azure SQL. So I need to create a copy activity by using pipeline in the copy activity. By using the copy activity, I can load the data. For that, I need to use the source linked services, source data set. I want to load into target also, right? Target data set, target linked services, how to use it. Okay. So by using this the flow to load the data. Okay, still, yeah, now it is completed. Let me go for the resource group. Go for resource group. So which one I have created? This is the stage, right? Stage to the this is the account. Let me go for this is the database I have created. Database. Let me go for query editor. Let me come. Query editor, where is it? Query editor, let me come here, let me search it. Azure SQL database, Azure SQL database. Let me open the Azure SQL database. Let me go for the query editor. Let me go for query editor. Let me log in. The password I need to enter it. Let me enter the password. Okay, I'm entering the password. Let me click OK option. Let me see, this is now unable to access. Let me click give the IP address access. Let me click IP address access. Let me click OK. You are able to log in now 100%. Now I need to create a file structure. What is my file structure is there? Let me create my file structure in the table format. So because of I need to create a table, let me create a table. Create table name. Let me, I'm creating the srcmp table. I want to load the data into this table. So employee number, this the data type is integer. Employee name is the varchar data type. Let me use the varchar. So it's having some length. Let me pass some length. Let me pass the job data type. The data type also varchar data type. So let me give varchar. Let me select the some length. Let me salary. Let me give the integer. Let me go for the DEPT number also integer. Let me, okay. So this is the table I'm creating. So my table got created. So when you refresh here, this is now I want to view the data. Select star from table name. Okay. So let me anyway execute this one. Let me run. It is a 0 record. This is the what are the data? This 10 records I have to load into here via Azure Blob, right? So for that I need to create a data factory. How to create a data factory? Let me come to the data factory. So let me create open new one. So
Venkat,
yes, please.
the DBO is a schema name.
DBO is the schema name. Perfect.
Okay.
By default schema. Now I need to go for data factory. So let me click the data factory. Once opened, now let me create a studio. I need to come. So let me use the same resource group. Okay, whichever the resource group I'm using earlier. So I'm using the resource group Nandini Software Solutions, the stage 2026, right? Let me use the same resource group. Okay, so where is that? I think resource group, this is the stage only, directly Nandini Software Solutions stage. Okay, directly this is the resource group. I need to use it. So now let me come to the data factory name. Let me pass the data factory DF, data factory stage 2026. Okay, so this is the data factory name, data factory. So now let me come to the down. Let me click on next, next create. Git I'm configure later. Let me review and create it. Data factory I'm creating. Let me click on create option. 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 So let me click on create option. So my data factory is creating. Once it's created, my studio it will open. So my data factory is creating. So it is in progress. My deployment is done. Let me go for resource. Let me go for resource. So let me, what are the data factory I created? Let me open this one. Let me open the data factory. Let me launch the studio. 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 Now I need to create a linked services. Okay, source linked services, target linked services, source data set, target data set I have to create. Then I will use the pipeline. By using the copy activity I can load it. Let me go for the manage section. Under the manage section I need to come to the linked services to connect the sources. So my source, which is the my source is the blob storage, Azure blob storage. Let me select the Azure blob storage. Let me click on OK. Let me click on OK. So now I'm giving the Azure blob storage name. This is the storage name. This is the source, right? Let me give source underscore Azure blob. Source underscore Azure blob. So now let me come to the down. Let me selection. I'm going for pre-subscription. That is the subscription I'm using it here. So storage account name. Let me use the storage account name, which is the storage account name. This is the storage account name I'm using. Let me use the same storage account. So SCA stage 2026 I'm using. Let me click the test connection. Let me click the test connection. So I'm let me click on create. The linked service I'm creating under this storage account. Okay, for the blob. Let me click on create. Click on create. So my source linked service is ready. Let me create a same as a target also. Let me click the new. So where I'm loading my target is the Azure SQL, right? Let me select the Azure SQL database. Let me click on continue. Let me click on continue. So this is my target. Let me pass the target Azure SQL database. I'm loading from file to Azure SQL database. Let me click on. So I need to pass the subscription. I'm using pre-subscription. Let me select the pre-subscription. Server details. What is the server name? This is the server name. This is the server name. Okay, server name. This is the server name. It will display. You can select it. uh, Nandini Software Solutions stage server. Nandini Software Solutions stage server. Nandini Software Solutions stage server. Nandini Software. So now database name. What is the database name? Nandini Software Solutions stage DB. Nandini Software Solutions stage DB. So perfect. Very good. Now I need to pass the login ID. So what is the login ID? This is the login ID. Same. I'm using login ID. I'm passing. So I need to pass the enter the password. Use in real time. We'll use the key vault, guys. The sensitive data, username, password, and all will create a key vault. That key vault will use it. Anyway, let me pass now. What is the password? That password I'm entering. So now let me come to the test connection. Let me click the test connection. So my test connection is once is success. Let me click on create option. Let me click on create. My target linked service also created. Now I need to create a source data set, target data set. Now let me go for the my author section. Let me go for data sets. Let me create a new data set. So what is my source data set linked service I need to connect? I need to connect from Azure blob. That's why I'm selecting the Azure blob. Click on continue. So my data is the CSV format. That's why I'm selecting the delimited CSV. Let me click the continue. So let me pass the name source data set. Source data set. Source data set ds delimited. Okay, let me select the my source linked service. I need to select it. Let me select the linked services. Let me browse the path where the files are located. I'm selecting the file path. So let me select the file, which is the files are available. I want to get only this file. Let me click on OK option. So now let me click my file having header. That's why I'm selecting the checkbox. Let me click on OK option. Let me click on OK option. Now, so my source data set is ready. Let me create my target data set quickly. Let me go for data set, click new data set. So now my what is my target? I need to connect Azure SQL, right? So Azure SQL database. Let me click on continue. Let me click on continue. So let me pass the my target data set, target data set. This is my SQL. Let me, so my target linked service I'm selecting. So which table? So I already created table. It will be displayed here 100%. Okay. So this is the data. This is the table I have to load the data. That's why I'm selecting this database and table name, schema name, table name. So my schema is not there. Let me click the no. Let me click OK option. Let me click OK option. So now let me click deploy, publish it. So I need to save means I need to publish it. Let me click on publish. So my source data set, my target data set, source linked service, target linked service is ready. Now I need to create a pipeline. How to create a pipeline? Let me see. There is a pipeline. Let me go. Let me go for the new pipeline. So let me pass the pipeline name. Pipeline underscore blob to SQL. Blob to Azure SQL. Azure SQL example. This is the pipeline name I am passing. Anything you can pass pipeline name. Now I need to use the copy activity. So by using the copy activity, I can copy the data from my source to target. So now, so let me define the source details, connection details. Let me go for source data set. This is my source data set. I need to select it. So now let me go for my sink. What is my sink? My sink is called as a target in the Azure. So let me select the Azure target details. Okay, now, so my details are ready. Now let me publish it. I'm saving it. Let me publish it. My publish is done. Then I will debug and run it. How to run it, I will show you now. So my publish is done. I want to run the, so I want to see the data in Azure SQL, right? So now, so in this database, whichever I logged in here, so I need to get the data here means I need to run the process pipeline. How to run the pipeline? So let me, there is a debug option. Let me click the debug option. So my pipeline is running. Oh, my pipeline is running. 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 Let me wait for a fraction of minutes to finish it. So let me wait pipeline to finish. So my pipeline is in progress. Once it's success, I will get the desired output. So I'm copying the data from Azure Blob to Azure SQL. This is one of the example. Team. So let me, yeah, so now my pipeline is success. My pipeline is success. Now let me come to the Azure SQL where we want to see the data. Let me use select star from, no need to use because I have very less records. No need to use the top command. Anyway, let me execute this command. My data is available. Perfect. This is the way to load the data. This is the way to load the data from Azure Blob to Azure SQL. Okay. So this is the data, guys. Whatever the data is there, so the data it will come here. So let me verify one record. I'm taking any one record. So assume that 110 Pavan Kalyan CEO 8020. Perfect. Okay. The highlights of this training instead, guys. Each class will provide you. Assume that each class will provide you recording videos. So it's Azure SQL, guys. So interactive online classes, recording videos will provide, real-time scenarios will explain, materials, project explanation, resume preparation, mock interviews, notes and clarification, intro questions and answers for explaining. Okay, this is the www.nandinisoftware.com, my institute website. So this is my YouTube channel. For new batch details, for more details, so reach out this number 9538160185. Thank you. Thank you, team. So I'm sure that guys, you if you learn properly, you will get job easily. Thank you. Let me stop.